I'm not gonna hold y'all. This episode made me happy and also pissed me off. Welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Love Island USA Season 7, Episode 34. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we're back where we left off, which is Shelly and Ace being in the hideaway and them becoming exclusive. We see them going to bed, and we see the couples going to bed. And then it's the next morning, and then we find out it's family day. So Shelly and Ace come out of the hideaway, and they're like, everybody's cheering for him and everything. So then, Shelly goes up with the girls, and Ace is in the kitchen cooking or whatever with the guys. And so they're asking him, like, what happened? What happened? And he tells them, I asked her to become exclusive with me, so we exclusive. And he didn't fold, so they ain't do nothing. They just made out. And Nick was just like, hands? What about hands? What happened? And it was just like, he was just like, I mean, of course hands go everywhere, but they did not bang. So I'm like, okay, that's good. Cause again, I didn't think that they would, because Ace has been like, he's a slow, like, that is a slow burner. Him and Alandria are both slow burners. So I didn't think that they would sleep together. And then I also, honestly, Shelly, I think she wanted to get some. She was just like, look, I'm ready. I've been waiting. I want my man. I want some. I want some. But Ace was just like, nah, our first time together is gonna be nice, special. We not gonna do it on national TV. And I respect him for that. I ain't even mad at him about it. I'm not mad at him. I respect him for that. Well, that's what they said. He said he didn't fold. We don't know for sure, but I just assumed that he wasn't gonna do. I honestly assumed that they weren't gonna sleep together, because again, he's been very respectful about the way he came at her. Like, even when she was in the coupling with Austin, he was just like, when it's our time, I'm gonna do it respectfully, and I'm gonna do it right. So I would assume that they weren't gonna sleep together on national TV in this show. I feel like he gonna wait till they become boyfriend and girlfriend and locked in, and then it's just like, you know what, I'm gonna take you around the world, and yeah, and I'm gonna take you someplace nice, and that's when we gonna do it. I just assume, but I could be wrong, but whatever. So Shelly was telling the girls how she wouldn't change anything. It was real special for her. She like they're exclusive, like, just whatever. So they all get dressed, and they're all waiting to see their families. And what's his name? Nick had went and put on his little meatball, like mommy's little meatball, and he started crying or whatever. So the first couple to see their families was Brian and Amaya, and like they go to the jumbotron, because they have a jumbotron. That's how you see your family. So they're all sitting in the back, and then they hear it, and then Amaya comes screaming, all happy, and so they're talking or whatever, and then the phone, like the can't like the jumbotron goes out or whatever. So they're just waiting on the jumbotron to come back on, and then you see the families walking in, and then Olandria sees, and she's just like, and then everybody else sees, and they're just like, shh, don't say. So they're all like jumping, like, oh my God, like, and then it hits them like, oh, we're gonna actually get to physically touch our family this year. Like, oh my God. And so I'm not even gonna lie, I teared up, because I was just like, oh my goodness. It was beautiful. So, Maya, like, they're waiting to see, and then the family comes up, and Brian is the first one to turn, and then Amaya turns, and she's like, ah, and she starts screaming, and then they're all like, oh my God, so happy. And then they're like, they meet each other, and they're talking. So they're just like, they talk together as a unit, and then they all separate, like the Amaya with her family, and then Brian with his family. They're talking, and they're just asking them, how did they see the couple, do they like them, all this other stuff, and then just making sure they're proud of them or whatever. And they're all happy. Brian gets a message from his mom, and she's just like, I'm so proud of you, I love you. And tell Maya I said hi, can't wait to see her, X, Y, and Z. So they leave, and the next couple is, let's see, the next couple is Pepe and Iris, and they come in, and Pepe and his dad have a funny relationship. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. But Iris and her mom and sister, they like, they're talking, and I don't think they like I don't think they like Pepe. I think they want her with TJ. And girl, yeah, but okay, whatever. So that's dumb. And it was like Pepe and Iris give me nothing. Their family scenes gave me nothing. So we're gonna move on from them. So the next people, oh, we see Brian, not Brian, Chris, like nervous, and like he's just like, I'm just so nervous to see my parent, like my mom or whoever is coming, and they don't know who's coming, so he's just like really nervous about seeing whoever is gonna come in and all this other stuff. And then like Amaya, like he's talking to the like group, because the groups are all like, everyone is sitting together, and this is when Pepe and Iris are with their family, and Chris is like, nervous about seeing whoever's coming in. And in his confessional, he's just like, I think it's too soon for Huda to be meeting my family, so he don't want Huda to meet his family. And it's just like, okay, okay, okay. It's like, excuse me. So he's talking about how nervous he is. Shelly, Maya, they're all giving him like pep talks, like it's gonna be okay, you're gonna be good. And Huda's just sitting there, like not saying nothing. And I was just like you're not even gonna like give him a pep talk, like it's gonna be okay, like it's gonna be cool. Like you just sitting there, like, and I was just like, do y'all like each other? Like, I was confused, because I was just like, you didn't even like, everybody else was giving him a pep talk and like letting him know it's gonna be okay. Don't be nervous. Your family's gonna be cool. Like all of this stuff. And she's just sitting there like, child. So yeah. So the next set of families that we see is Shelly and Ace. So it's Shelly's mom and her dad, and then Ace's sister and his older sister and his little brother. So they come in, and oh, they're like so excited to see each other. His uh she, like, he tells her mom like, oh, you're so gorgeous, I see where she gets her look from. Her dad is just like, her dad looked like he was just no nonsense. He was just like, I'm not, like, I'm here to see my baby girl, and that's it. Like, ain't, I don't care. So they talk as a unit, and Shelly's mom was telling her like, everybody is always watching it. I be at work, and like they're like, the other, because I think she's a nurse. She was just like, the other nurses are just like, look, watch, and she's just like, but my patient, they're like, watch. And then she tells Ace, she was just like, because Ace's sister was just like, I like how y'all communicate with each other. Even when y'all had like our little spat, y'all were still respectful. Y'all still talk to each other respectfully. And then her mom, Shelly's mom, was just like, how, like, I've never seen you raise your voice. Like I love that about you. Like you're just like what happened, like who raised you? And he was just like, that like that's what having sisters are for. And she was just like, y'all raised him right. And I was just like, see, I love this, because literally, like, thinking back on it, it's just like, he never did raise his voice, no matter how irritated or annoyed he was. Even when he was talking to Austin and they did their little stand on business, that he didn't raise his voice. Like, he's like very calm tempered, and it's just like, that's what's up. On the flip side of that, when he do get pissed, it's gonna be a whole nother thing. But I feel like it probably takes a lot to get him pissed, because I know if it was me, I would have cussed Maya out. Like when they had that conversation on the dock, like, if you're not gonna let me speak, girl, we would have been yelling at each other. That's how I would have been like, because it ain't gonna be your way all the time. Like, but we're not gonna go back. But anyways, sorry. So they separate, and like he's talking to his siblings, and he was just like, so what are y'all seeing? Like, am I doing anything that's like, that's like bad? Because when you get that, like, when you see, like, when they America votes, and they're asking who's the most genuine, and you get like bumped all the way down. Like, am I doing something? And they was just like, no, you being you being your authentically yourself. Don't let what America thinks change your mind, because you are who you are, and that's what's up. And I'm not even mad at it, because America really did a number on Shelly and Ace, and I don't like it, because y'all, all them people, y'all, like the way y'all voted for that, like Ace has been the most genuine in the house. Ace is the best boyfriend material in the house. And because y'all just, because everybody likes Amaya so much, and y'all, the way that y'all did that vote was like wow. Like, even also how y'all did it for like all the Huda's fans, and how they did that for Shelly, because of that whole whatever it was that they I don't even know why they, I don't, because I feel like at the time that they did that, yeah, by the time that when we did that, when we had that vote, Shelly and Huda weren't, they weren't beefing at that time. But it's just, I don't even know, but that was just a trash vote. Like, the way that is does not really reflect how it truly should have been, which is why I'm so, which is what pissed me off in this episode as well. So we get to Shelly and her family, oh, with Ace and his sister and brother. He gets a message from his mom, and he, like, she basically tells him she's proud of him, she loves him, and he cries. And it was just like, that's so sweet. And then she was just like, his sister was just like, before I go, I gotta say my brother got a 10. And I was just like, I know that's right, because Shelly is a 10 and Alandria is a 10. Boom. Amaya is a 10 also. Amaya is beautiful. She talks too much, she over talks people, but she is still beautiful. I love Amaya. The rest of them, it is what it is. It is what it is. Sorry, let me stop. But no, for real, it is what it is. No, not even gonna hold you. So the next, oh, we go to Shelly and her family, and her dad really don't say nothing. He was just sitting there like, I just came to see my baby, and that's it. So her mom is talking to her and just saying how she's proud of her, and she was just like, Ace reminds her of her dad, and her dad was just like, oh no. I was just like, her daddy is funny. Oh, and then her mom, when it was like when it was Ace and Shelly or whatever, she was saying, I love the way you look at my daughter. And I was just like, oh, I hope they make it in the real world. They are so cute. I think they will make it in the real world, or they'll make it really really far if they don't make it all the way, because it. I hope they make it all the way. Look, I'm all invested in these people like I know them. So the next people that come in is Huda and Chris's family. So, they're all excited. Um, we find out the last thing that they saw was that he folded. So they haven't seen anything else that has been going on between Chris and Huda, because they're just like, oh, they love Huda for him. They love that she's grown. They love this, and that. Her sisters don't hold her accountable, because they're just like, oh, you're good. Like, I'm glad you've learned to be quiet, because she has not. They love that she's growing. She really has not, but whatever. So Chris's family is happy about them or whatever, and Huda's family is happy about them too or whatever. So Huda gets a message from her daughter, and her daughter's so cute. So her daughter's like basically saying, I love you, mommy, I miss you, can't wait to see you, all that other stuff. So the last couple that we see is Nick and Olandria's mom. And when I tell you, when Olandria told Megan that it's genetics, she was not lying. Her mama got a wagon. I was just like, oh yeah. Yeah, that's all genetics. She ain't got no booty routine, because that just came from her. She get it from her mama. Because it was like, wow, like, wow. So Nick's mom and sister comes, and So they're so happy to see them. Nick's mom loves Alandria. Like she loves her down. Like for real, she loves her down. So they're all excited and they let them know what their ship name is Nicolandria. And then what's it called? Alandria's mom was just like, we've been waiting on y'all to get it together because we've seen it since day one. Like, we've been waiting on y'all to get it together. I was just like, oh, that's so cute. So we don't see their family like together, like talking together. We just see them separate or whatever. And Nick and his family, they're talking, and they were just like, when his sister brings up the fact that they seen him in the sheets, and his mom was just like, Nicholas. I was just like, his mom is so funny. So they're excited. They like them together. She can't wait for Alondria to come to the house and she can cook for her. And it's just like they love Alondria. They really do. Then we were talking to um Alandria and her mom, and they're talking, and you all you heard was that country accent because she was just like, I like to cuss. Her mom was just like, you cuss too much, too much. I was just like, they're so cute. But that's like, she was just like, that's my best friend. That's my twin. She do look like her mama. She was asking, like, she was asking her mom, like, is my daddy proud of me? And she was like, your daddy is so proud of you. Like, we are all proud of you. We are rooting for you and Nick. And then she asked her mama, so like my swimsuits, they been like, I've been looking good. Like, what's up? She was just like, girl, everything's tea. Body tea, suits tea, outfits tea. Yes. I was just like, they are so cute. I love it. So the families all leave and they get the text and they find out that they're going to eat dinner together, and they were all so excited. And I keep forgetting that the only meal that they literally eat together is breakfast. When the like breakfast is the only meal that they can eat together, because if I'm not mistaken, when they do lunch and dinner, they separate them. So it's they don't they want to get like the conversations and like stuff like that. So they keep them separate, like for a good chunk of time, like especially when there's like, they'll probably give them like an hour and a half or 2 hours for lunch and then maybe 2 or 3 hours for dinner. And they're separated. Like the boys are with the boys and the girls are with the girls, which makes sense why the boys have such a strong relationship with each other and the girls would have such a strong relationship with each other, which again lends to Huda being trifling but sitting on Ace's face when you have such this good relationship with Shelly and you would do something like that. But again, we're not going to go back. Sorry. So they all get dressed fancy or whatever, and they're doing pasta, and Amaya comes down and she's in this little cute little green number, and Ace was just like, okay, Amaya, you looking good, looking like a big old bag of lettuce. I was just like, Ace is a fool. And they're all laughing together, and they're setting the dinner table and everyone's like, people is cooking. Nick don't like to cook, so him and Brian was in the like trying to set the table, and they were just like, okay, so we gonna act like we doing something because I don't cook. I was just like, they a mess. And then Chris done burnt the bread, the garlic bread. It was just like, oh my god, they are a mess. So they like everybody comes to the dinner table and they're all seated like in front of their couple or whatever. And they're like, Brian does a toast to everybody and all this other stuff. So they're gonna go around and say what their highs and lows are, their peaks and their pits or whatever, because Huda says like, what's your highs and what's your lows, and then Nick was just like, ooh ooh ooh, what was your peak moment and what was your pit? And she was just like, so you just gonna take what I say and just switch it around? He was just like, no no no, it's peak and pits. I was just like, Nick, you're a fool. So we don't see everybody. We see Brian saying his peak was meeting Amaya, and this and like that was his peak. We see Amaya saying like her peak was, meeting Brian, getting, close with the girls. And then her pit was the way she talked to Ace. So she apologized to Ace when they had their miscommunication. And she was just like, I'm sorry for the way I talked to you. That wasn't right. But I'm glad that we were able to have such a good friendship. And he was just like, girl, you good. And he gets up and they hug each other. So apparently they made up a while ago, but clearly they didn't show it. So I'm side eyeing you, production, because if they have been cool since then and y'all have put this put it out there like they just don't like each other, that's not cool, but whatever. So okay, so the way that everyone is sitting before I get to where I'm at, it's Amaya and Brian, Chris and Huda, Nick and Alandria, Shelly and Ace, and then Pepe and Iris. So Amaya and Brian do their peaks and pits. Then Huda and Chris do their peaks and pits. And Huda says her pit was the crash out, and her peak was the Casa Amor recoupling and coupling up with Chris and being with him and getting to know him and all of that. When I say I kid you not, this fool Chris, and this fool Chris gonna say his peaks was seeing his mama today and playing ball with the guys. And then he said, is there anything else? Nah, yeah, that's it. Excuse me? Excuse me, more? Are you okay? Is you cool? You not cool. You really not. Something wrong with you. Something is all the way wrong with Chris. So Huda's looking at him like, pissed, which I would be pissed too. Because what do you mean your peaks are seeing your mama today and playing basketball with the boys, and you ain't got no other peak? So I didn't get a I didn't get an honorable mention. I couldn't even get that. Like I couldn't get a mention, not even an honorable one. Like nothing. Like, and it tripped me out because he was just saying how his family is so happy about him and Huda, and he feels good about them being together. And I'm like, what changed? Like legit, what changed for you to make you say that, to not mention her as a peak? And in that moment, it was just like, oh, he hates her. Like he hates Huda. Like legit hates her. And it's like, what? So Nick was looking at Huda like, oh shit, she gonna crash out? Is she gonna crash out? Oh snap, we about to see. And then Nick and Alandria talk or whatever. And then somebody gets a text. Pepe gets a text, and they find out that America has been voting for their favorite couple, and somebody is going to get eliminated today. So they bring out platters, and in the platter, it'll tell you if your journey continues or if you've been eliminated. So the first couple to go is Amaya and Brian, then Chris and Huda, then Nick and Alandria, Shelly and Ace, and then Pepe and Iris. So Maya and Brian, they open up their envelope, and they they get the congratulations. They're going to the final four, or their journey continues. Then Chris and Huda, their journey continues. Um Nick and Alandria, their journey continues. So the last is Pepe, Iris, and Ace and Shelly. So they go, they do the commercial break, they come back, they both, because I guess they both lift the thing up, and the girls are the one who reads it. So They done kicked Shelly and Ace off, and Pepe and Iris make it to the final four. They done kicked Shelly and Ace off, and Pepe and Iris make it to the final four. When I tell you I was hot, so pissed. Like, what do you mean? The only true couple on the show at this moment is Shelly and Ace, and you kicked them off the show. So they pack their bags and they leave, and they basically say, like, I came here for what I wanted. I came here to find my person, and that's what I did. So I'm good. Like, I didn't need to go to the final four because I came and did what I was supposed to do, which is find my person. So I'm the winner at the end of the day. And I was just like, I know that's right. Cause what? So we get the final. So it's the final four. Child, it's the final four, which is Amaya and Brian, Chris and Huda, Nick and Alandria, and Pepe and Iris. That is the final four going into the finale. The longest couple in the final four is Chris and Huda, and they don't like each other. The longest couple in the final is Chris and Huda, and they don't like each other. Oh, I was like, are you serious? I don't think I have ever, in all the seasons that I have watched, I don't think I have ever seen a final four where there has been no couple that has closed off. And legit, the longest lasting couple in the final four don't like each other. Like, what? Like, as much, honestly, the final four legit should have been Amaya and Brian, Nick and Alandria, Taylor and Clark, and Ace and Shelly. As much as I didn't like Taylor, they legit was a real true life couple. So they should have been in the final four. But because of the way that Taylor handled himself, it got him kicked off the show. Honestly, that is like, there's no other way to say it than because of the way that Taylor handled himself is what is the reason why he is no longer on the show. And Clark was like, it was a loss on Clark by default because of who she was coupled up with. But legit, that should have been the final. That should have been the final four. Like, even then, because it was just like, honestly, those were the longest lasting couple on here, honestly, was Chase and Ellie. I mean, not Chase and Ellie, Ace and Shelly. Low-key kind of Nicolandria and Nick, because they've been circling the block since episode 1, because again, the first guy she chose to kiss was Nick. Like, she kissed Nick before she kissed Taylor. So they've been circling the block around each other since day 1. So again, I can see why. Like, I'm again, I didn't see it in the beginning. I see it now. I see the potential of Nick and Alandria. I didn't see it at first, but it was just like seeing them together. It was just like, okay, y'all are kind of cute. I see what other people see in y'all. I can see y'all I can see it. Like, I can see it. So I could see them together. I could see them being in the final four. I can see Amaya and Brian being in the final four. Although Amaya and Brian and Nick and Alandria, I think they got together at about the same time in that last recoupling. Yeah, they got together. So yes, that's their tenure is the same. Um, again, Ace and Shelly been together like low key since day one. Even though they weren't together, they've been together since day one. Taylor and Clark, they've been together. They're like since the recoupling of Casa Amor, which is the same amount as Huda and Chris, but they like each other. Huda and Chris don't. So in the final four, we have again the longest lasting couple, Chris and Huda, that don't like each other. Cause his peak was seeing his mama today and playing basketball with the boys. I can't make this up. But that is the final four. So we got one episode left. We're gonna find out who won. Yeah, when I tell you again, like I said, this episode made me happy and it pissed me off all in one fell swoop because that ending was wow. Like y'all legit kicked them off. Let me know what y'all think. Get down in them comments. Tell me how y'all felt about this episode. Yeah, so we got one more episode, the final. We gonna find out who won this season of Love Island, and honestly, I really don't care because it's not Ace and Shelly, but we here. I just can't believe it. Oh my god, it's wow, that is so wild to me. But yeah, that was the episode. So get down in the comments, tell me what you guys thought of it. If you like what you see, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you'll know when I post a video, and I will see you guys in the next one.